Very well. Let this abomination unto the Lord begin.
Dave, when's your mom going to be a guest on the podcast?
I don't know. I don't know if I'll do that. Tell you the truth.
I was, Elise and I were talking about it the other day because I was listening.
We were talking about my mom?
Yeah. Because, my favorite podcast, Doughboys, Mitch had his mom on one of the episodes, and it was fucking hilarious. And Elise was like, you should have all your moms on the podcast.
Oh my god, if we had all our moms. It has to be all at the same time, too.
Oh my god.
So it's
bunch
really
of old
weird.
ladies talking about how shitty we were as kids.
I can't even believe they're doing this.
What is it that they're doing, by the way?
I would listen to this. I would listen to this episode.
Yeah. Never. My mom would never do. I've told her before, like, she will, like, when I see my parents now, she's usually the one to ask, like, so are you still doing that podcast or whatever? Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, we've been doing that for like a couple of years. I just, can I listen to it? It's like, Mom, we've been,
really?
I am not gonna, you're a grown woman, I'm not gonna forbid you from listening to these things. I'm just going to tell you now, you're not going to like it.
No, I think those were the words. So when can I listen to it? I go, it's really not for you. It's like
Do any of your moms listen to or watch Futurama?
Oh,
no.
My mom watches, like, Judge Judy just on a loop.
Ah, yes, exactly.
That's it.
Judge Judy or the Hallmark Channel, which I've become very accustomed to.
They've got some quality films.
I think growing up, Futurama in my household was always referred to as that dumb show.
Was that your dad? I feel like that's your dad.
It was
watching that dumb show again.
Oh no, he didn't pay even that modicum of attention to what I was doing. It was my mom. Are you watching that dumb show again? Like, yeah. The show that proved certain mathematical theories. It's that dumb show.
Well, okay, but I think it needs to be said that James was like 8 years old when Futurama came out. Mm. The rest of us who are actually adults at this stage in our life, like we grew up with The Simpsons, probably.
You say that.
I watched The Simpsons at least growing up. I kind of fell off, but I remember my mom made me stop watching The Simpsons because she walked in the room when it was the Santa's Little Helper episode, and what's that woman's name? I want to call her Crabapple, but what is it? Krabappel? Yeah, Krabappel. She called Santa's Little Helper a bitch, and my mom just walked in right when that happened. She's like, "Nope, this is it. You're done." That's probably why I never watched The Simpsons again.
Simpsons was banned in your home?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a bad show.
So was the Goonies because I watched the VHS like 100 times.
Well, your grandmother had that.
Yeah, you're right. Grandma Dorothy. She banned me from watching that.
It's like, you've watched this too many times.
You've had enough, Suds.
Yeah.
So that wasn't for content. That was more, they just kind of got sick of it.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was also for content because when they're going down the water slide at the end, when they're getting close to One-Eyed Willie's treasure ship, and they yell shit as they're going down the water slide.
I remember that.
My grandma did not like that.
Shit.
Yeah.
So welcome to the Goonies Hour.
Okay, well, before we get too far, we should welcome our guest, podcaster extraordinaire of the Spielberg podcast and Four Letter Word and Saturday Solutions at JB Love Drafts, Mr. Sean Kunkle.
Hello. You forgot the Harrisburg pill.
I did forget the Harrisburg pill.
Yeah, the zine. That's what I'm here to promote the most anyway.
Oh, okay.
That's what I got coming up.
All right, let's start over.
Should have asked you. I actually felt really cool about how I introduced you.
Well, it was like,
You did a good job, son.
It hyped me up. I feel good about that. Thank you.
So we had you on the show before, like way the fuck back. I think it was like episode 10 or 11 maybe.
Had to be one of the earlier guests for sure.
Well over a year ago.
Yes.
But we were also on your podcast, the Spielberg, at one point.
I'm actually a multi-time Spielberg podcast.
What are you, 2 or 3?
2, I think, because Greg and I were on first, and then we were on.
Yeah. Okay.
I remember our show fondly. I do. We got drunk and we barely talked about Rogue One. I remember your opinion, Kunkle. It sucked!
It did. It wasn't very good.
It stinks. It stinks.
Yes, Mr. Sherman.
Yeah, well, I'm not a fan of any of the Star Wars things. I mean, if you listen to Spielberg, you get a little of that every episode, so.
Yeah.
On the opposite end, you have MF, who's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
No, I mean, well, that's like the best part of that. At least that episode was you guys just like want. Like, I think at one point, MF Durr just set a knife on the table.
Yeah, a knife comes out every episode.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's pretty consistent from what I remember.
I thought somebody was getting killed.
yeah.
What would be our like fundamental disagreement?
Oh,
Love?
It would be Suds' disagreement with either music in the show,
Oh.
or
the fact that Fry and Leela should just be together.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Fuck's sake.
It's always a continuous. This is my main problem, Fry and Leela, and I'm just like, shut the fuck up. That's not Fry. That's that one too. Is my
Oh
favorite.
God, okay, we dealt with that enough last.
Lars is not Fry.
Lars is
Fraud. Fraud.
We all know that Lars is Fry, but he's an asshole.
He's Fry.
He should have told Fry that he's Fry. Fry's like sad the whole movie. It's bullshit. It's like, just tell him, look, I'm you. You're gonna be with her eventually.
Because
Just
that
calm
might
down.
fuck up what happened. Never mind. I'm not going into this. We're done. We've had this conversation.
You want to talk about time travel again for another 2 hours like we did last week?
It seems like you just want to watch a film with like no conflict whatsoever. Like if it's just two people just like sitting in adjacent chairs for an hour and a half, just
Getting along.
yeah, I love it.
Enjoying each other's
That would be my
company.
favorite. Yeah, that would be the best.
That's two people reading quietly together. That's all that Suds wants out of a movie.
That would be wonderful. Hey, can I just like get on a podium here for a second?
Please.
Oh yeah,
It's
we
called
have
It's called a soapbox.
Yeah.
You have a microphone.
No,
in
I'm
front of
gonna.
you, so-
Well, I might be on a soapbox, but I'm definitely gonna be at a podium with notes and whatnot.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. I just feel the need to say this. I watched the movie Animal House yesterday for the first time ever.
Oh my god.
Well, it's too late. That doesn't stand the test of time.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
It was fucking terrible.
Okay, good.
It was so bad. I did not laugh, and I'm curious to see what you guys think. Kunkle, I think I know what you think.
Yeah.
But holy fuck. Like, you hear quotes from that movie, and like, like there was one line in the movie, and Elise was like, "Oh man, I've heard my family say that. Like, it's not funny though. Like, it was truly a fucking bad movie. It was not funny, not a single goddamn time. John Belushi, fucking, he can wiggle his eyebrows around as much as he wants. It doesn't make it funny. There was no redeeming factor whatsoever in that movie.
Look, that is
Nothing.
a college movie, and it is mostly watched when you are drunk.
Yeah.
That is basically what it is.
Elise and I drank an entire bottle of boxed wine yesterday.
Hang on, you drank a bottle of boxed wine.
A box of boxed wine. Sorry.
A bottle of box.
We bought the Franzia and then we transferred it into a better wine bottle, thinking that that's where the quality comes from.
Exactly.
It's all aesthetics, really.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Anyhow, I just had to say something. It was garbage.
I think when it was made in college life, that was applicable. Everybody could relate and be like, "Oh, I wish I was in those cool frats," and the people that were like, "It was like that." But those days are gone, and that I don't know. I feel like the college experience has changed extremely.
Oh yeah, it's completely
So the-
different than.
Did you see that movie like a long time ago?
No, I
or-
saw it years later because it was
Okay.
like a classic. Everybody said, and I had to see it. And
That's
I saw
what we
it.
thought. Yeah.
And no, it's not a classic by any means.
Well, it's one of the. I mean, I think it is a classic, and I have not watched it in probably, 5-6 years at this point. But it was like I grew up watching that when I was a kid, and then when I got into college, it started to. As I was like, I was in a fraternity in college, and so I like knew of like that culture, and it was like watching that it like really clicked for me. That just like, oh, there's no glorification of this behavior. They're making fun of fraternities the entire fucking time. And just pointing out, just like, yeah, you guys are fucking idiots. Look at all of the things that these guys do. The Deltas are not good people.
And
The whole point of that movie is to fucking mock them.
Okay.
I didn't
So it
necessarily
is-
look at it that way.
It
But
is satirical, like
Yeah.
okay.
That's my take on it.
Still
But
hated it. I felt like I missed it. When I saw it, I like watched it way later in life, and everybody talked about that being.
Oh,
the
you mean
scariest
like the mini series, like
Oh.
or the TV movie?
Yeah, are you
Wait,
talking
what are you
about?
I'm sorry, the movie It.
Yeah.
The original It movie.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was on ABC. It was like a
Oh, for real?
5 episode or
Yeah.
3 episode.
It was a TV movie miniseries thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can watch it now as just a straight up movie front
Yeah.
to
It's
back.
combined.
And that's how I had
Yeah.
seen it, but I wasn't frightened by it, even though it's like the
Okay.
pillar of most of
Well,
children's fears.
And that is what I will say. It isn't scary, but Tim Curry's like portrayal of this monster was creepy.
Yeah.
It was creepy. He did a good job.
And
but,
again,
like,
it's all time wise.
Yeah,
For the
at-
time, it was
Well,
terrifying.
and that's
I
the
saw it
thing,
way
and,
too late.
I'm going against what I'm saying like about Animal House now because of course that was released at a certain time. But what I'm going to say is that if you saw it as a child, you
Totally different.
probably would have been terrified. Just going off my experience because
yeah.
like watching him rip off the child's arm when in just like the first scene of the movie, like that traumatized me. I was fucking terrified.
Yeah.
of
Well, I
that.
still won't.
You know,
I have a 10-year-old son, and I'm not showing him that movie. But
Oh
you know.
yeah, well, when you're that young too, imagination has a. I don't want to go to bed with the lights off.
Yeah.
Like, of course you wouldn't. Why would you ever? There's something in the closet.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
there's
yeah.
something under the bed. Like.
Yeah. Side note about Animal House: when he chugs the bottle of Jack Daniels,
Yeah.
he does chug a bottle of Jack Daniels.
We
No,
actually
he
we wondered.
doesn't.
We
Yes, he
wondered.
does.
We
They
wondered
offered him the
about
tea,
that.
and he said no. He said I can do it.
Yeah, it's in the there's a documentary about the movie.
no, he does actually chug the bottle. What it was is he was originally gonna, because even if it is like tea, which it is, it's still tough to just down the whole fucking bottle at once like that. They were gonna originally have like a tube that went around so it would like fake chug for him. He's just like, no, I can fucking do that. It is like sweet tea.
Are you sure?
Yes.
How are you sure? Where did you see
Was
this?
A massive alcohol.
Because I
Somebody
saw
throw
this.
a knife down on the table. This is
I'm
getting
not that
serious.
upset. I'm not that upset.
No, we're the wimpy podcast. None of us are armed.
I am not armed at the moment.
Well, you guys talking about college. For me, the college movie that I remember fondly and kind of was like, oh wait, is college gonna be? Have you ever seen PCU?
Of course.
Okay, so I will take that. I will take PCU over that one specifically. I mean, it's
There's life lessons in PCU
Yeah,
that you can't forget.
yeah.
Never wear the shirt of the band you're going to see. Don't be that guy.
Oh, is that where that comes from?
yeah, don't be that guy. Gunner, don't be that guy.
Blow me where the Pampers is. I mean,
Yes, exactly. Excuse me. Blow me where the Pampers is. What?
have you seen PCU?
No.
Oh my god.
jeez.
You got to. That was
Yeah, you
Is
gotta at least
Jeremy
see that.
Piven in that?
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
That's
Jeremy
your main
Piven-
character.
Is that why he was then also in Old School, or?
John Favreau's in it as well.
Because I just thought,
Yeah, and he plays a ridiculous
Oh my god.
role.
well, Jeremy Piven is in Old School as like the dean, and I just always assumed, like, I knew that Jeremy Piven was in some other thing. I actually thought it was like Animal House back in the day, but yeah, I don't know. I think like Old School is like, well, it's the modern equivalent of those types of movies,
Yeah.
but I thought that was like
Yeah, but there was
fantastic.
prior to
was
that
fantastic.
there was Van Wilder
Yeah.
being like the college.
Yeah, but I didn't
movie.
care about. I mean, I saw Van Wilder. I just didn't give a shit. I didn't think it was good.
No, that wasn't for me.
Yeah.
That was another National
Nerds.
Lampoon.
Nerds was really
Yeah, well, except for the whole unconsensual.
Well, yeah, but
I don't remember this scene.
But that's a big thing for me in Animal House too. It's like the main characters are all they just want to molest women. The whole like that's what their goal is, and it's fucked up.
Yeah.
That is the goal. Wait, Donald Sutherland was in.
Yeah.
More importantly, Donald Sutherland's butt was in Animal House.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah. and his weird hair.
He's basically playing the same character from Kelly's Heroes. Have you guys seen that?
No.
He's
it's
in
like
Kelly's Heroes?
Yes, he was. It's a Clint Eastwood fronted movie about World War II where Donald Sutherland is in it, but he's like a tank commander. He's just like this hippie fucking dude who happens to be like in. I don't even know how they put this cast together because it's a bunch of like famous people from like the 1960s or 70s. I'm like, this is a great movie, but I don't know why these people like. But Donald Sutherland is basically the same character in that as he is in Animal House.
As he is in MASH, as he is in every other fucking thing.
Fucking movie.
He's just playing Donald Sutherland.
Look, nothing wrong with that. Keanu Reeves is in a lot of great movies.
Yeah.
I can't believe you didn't use him as a reference. Come on. He's a great actor.
He is. He's
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves in every fucking John Wick.
Did you see Knock?
Oh, no, I haven't seen. I know what you're talking
That
about.
movie's great.
Keeps coming up, and I'm like, I should probably watch this.
No, I love Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves is in The Matrix. He is The Matrix.
Wait, have you not seen John Wick?
Yes, I've seen both of them.
Oh,
I love
okay.
them both.
I
can't
haven't
wait
seen
for
them
the
yet,
third
but I
movie.
want to.
Oh, you haven't? Holy fuck.
My wife
Oh.
does not like action movies, and I don't. Anytime I'm away from her on video games, so it's there's not a lot of time for those.
I would have thought that Granny would be.
I know. Doesn't he do it all because of a dog death?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yes and no, and yes and no. Basically, yes.
Yeah.
We'll just go with
okay.
yes.
Yeah, she's a dog groomer. I tried to pitch to her that way. I was like, yes, it's actiony as fuck, but it's all, to revenge his dog's
Yeah, it's
death. You would do
revenge.
this. And she's still not
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
I know. Well, I'll make her
Sometimes
listen to this.
we need a little non-substance. Let's just take it for what it is.
By the way,
It's a
we
great
need to talk
fucking
after
movie.
the episode about when she's going to be a guest.
Greta?
Yeah.
Shit, she didn't know she could come today.
What do you mean? She could have come.
Yeah, I
Jesus.
asked.
I
How
thought-
many mics do we need?
Well, I thought I told you the last time that we did, the last time we did the Spielberg, I was talking to her in the basement. I was like, you should be a fucking guest.
Oh, I don't retain things very well.
Well, I don't even think you were there. It was her
Oh, yeah.
and MF's wife.
She doesn't retain things very well.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, she said she wanted to come by. I was like, yeah, I don't know. They cast for like a little over an hour, so you'd be sitting doing nothing. There should be a cat or something. She's like,
Oh, shit.
Well,
Next time.
we'll get. Well, next time we'll have her as the main guest. You can sit.
Yeah, you can fucking,
Yeah.
you can just fuck right
I'll
off.
play with the cat gladly, angry or not. Suds has a very angry cat, by the way.
He is a sweetheart. You
That
just
is
gotta
a-
catch him at the right
That is a
time.
Yeah.
nice segue into the actual future.
Yeah, let's- yeah.
What we're supposed to be talking about.
Speaking
but-
of very grumpy
That-
cats,
What was it Justin said? Wasn't this a Futurama podcast?
Oh, yeah.
every episode we have to remind ourselves.
Alright, so let's get actually into the episode. This episode is called That Darn Katz.
Yes, this was written by Josh Weinstein, who, if I'm not mistaken, is the same Josh Weinstein who was Bill Oakley's writing partner on The Simpsons.
Oh, okay.
If
It would make sense.
if you guys aren't familiar, Bill Oakley and Josh Weinstein were the showrunners for, I believe, seasons 6 through 8 of The Simpsons, which are usually regarded among Simpsons fans as some of the best years of the show.
That's probably where I stopped, right before that, stopped watching. I was doing other things, so.
You made a huge mistake.
I was preoccupied with partying and, copious amounts of drug use, so.
Like I
It
said,
gets on top of all of this stuff. I actually have a note here somewhere about there was a Simpsons Futurama crossover.
Yeah.
I was unaware of this.
Yeah, we actually just. Well, okay, so recently we did the movies for the Futurama movies,
Okay.
but we got so fucking burnt out on those because they were a pain in the ass to do for the podcast.
Why?
Well, because each movie's an hour and 10 minutes long or
Too
something.
much. Too much. to
Yeah,
talk about.
too much. Yeah, we were trying to split them up into 2 podcast episodes. So then it's either we're recording and drinking for 6 hours every Saturday, or we're trying to get a guest to come back for the following Saturday. It was a pain, and everything about it sucked.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we threw in that one just to split things up at some point.
like a palate cleanser.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. So
Just
we did the
podcast
Simpsorama
ginger,
episode.
Yeah.
It's a weird episode, though. I don't think any of us necessarily rated it.
So was it a
super
Futurama
high.
episode with Simpson characters?
No,
Or
it was a
Simpsons?
Simpsons episode with Futurama characters.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It,
is it listed within the repertoire of Futurama?
No.
Only
no.
Simpsons? Okay.
Because this was after Futurama went off the air,
Yeah.
so it was
I
it was
see.
through the Simpsons. I don't know, whatever 26th,
20,
7th season.
27th or something. Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad episode, but
Did you guys review it?
yeah, we did it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's no need to recap. I was just interested. I never knew that happened. I just
Oh,
saw
yeah.
some
I would
news
suggest
about it.
watching it if you're interested.
both the shows.
Yeah,
Yeah,
watch
really.
it.
I mean, if you're a fan of either show, I think you'll enjoy it, but
Yeah.
it's not. It's not the standout of either series by far.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
I guess I kind of liked the idea that they did for it, but it seemed like
Yeah.
it should have been a 2-part episode.
It did feel very abrupt.
It was abrupt, yes. When it ended, it was they could have done another 22 minutes in it and fleshed it out, I think.
So it was a regular episode's length.
Yes.
But it's-
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tried to cram too much in.
Yeah.
All right.
And then just end
Interesting.
a very, like James said, very abrupt.
To never be
No
seen.
resolution, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah, it did feel like it wrapped up very quickly, and like I don't know, it just like it threw too many characters in at once, which I mean, Futurama and The Simpsons are usually pretty good about sort of condensing like the main storyline to just a few key archetypes, but that was just when you have the Bender and Homer and the entire Simpson family and Planet Express crew all together at once. It's too many personalities clashing.
Are any of the voices for Simpsons the same for Futurama? Was it easy for any of the actors?
Oh, jeez. That's actually a good question. I think there's a certain cast they use for The Simpsons and a certain cast they use for Futurama.
I don't actually think there's any crossover.
Oh wow.
There's like bit parts, like I know like Dan Castellaneta does the Robot Devil in Futurama.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that. We
I'm
probably
sure
talked about it before.
Billy West does
I was drunk.
something
The
for
last
the
episode I
Simpsons.
was on was the Robot Devil's appearance.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, full circle. Pretty cool.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's little bits like that of just sort of like, I mean, those are the actors that the producers are familiar with working with, so bring them back for that. But no, they operate pretty different casts for the two shows.
Yeah.
Should we start this episode? No, let's just keep going.
Well, I do want to say something right off the bat. I'm always bummed when I see the title for this episode, and like, I guess when like the first time I ever watched this, I just assumed like when this came out, it was what, like early 2000s, 2003-ish.
No, this is 2000.
Oh, fuck.
11,
Oh, you're
I'm
right.
guessing.
This is later. I'm sorry. But I still... Oh, and this was the Comedy Central run.
Yeah,
I always just immediately associate the title of That Darn Katz with the way the Katz is spelled, K-A-T-Z, with Dr. Katz, Professional Therapist.
Yeah.
The old school Comedy Central show, which I was fucking obsessed with. I love that
I know.
show
I thought
so
that's where we were going
much.
with the episode. When I saw
Yeah,
the title.
God, I wish it was a Dr. Katz themed episode. 'Cause that is one of the best goddamn shows of all time. Dr. Katz and his fucking son, played by H. John Benjamin. It's a classic. So it's like every time I'm just a little bit let down that this isn't about Dr. Katz.
Yeah.
that they didn't get Jonathan Katz to be a voice on this episode.
Well, actually, I don't know that they didn't, but probably they didn't.
We don't know who the Cat's voice was.
Exactly.
Did we ever look that up?
I didn't.
Although Jonathan Katz's Dr. Katz's voice is pretty
Distinctive.
Distinct, yeah.
Okay.
I would have noticed it. But.
So what was the KATZ? Why?
Well, it was just the name of that professor.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they
Well,
did say at some point in the episode, Professor Katz, and I'm like,
Look,
Professor Katz, Dr. Katz, come on.
It's supposed to be a joke about the whole episode, and I can't believe you just think there are multiple cats in
Yes.
the fucking episode.
Wait, there were cats?
Yes, their anuses look like asterisks.
Asterisks.
Asterisk.
Asterisks.
Okay, I'm
Well, it's a
aware.
play off of That Darn Cat, which
Yes,
is like
but-
a much older movie, but I know
Disney.
the 1996 version of it with young Christina Ricci.
Oh, Christina Ricci.
Yeah.
She's lovely.
She'll always be
She's very
Wednesday to me.
That's too young. That's too young.
What? But she was older than me when it came out.
Yeah. No, when you
aged.
were that age.
Yeah, that's fine.
Still too young. No.
Let's go to like Monster. She was great in Monster.
Yes.
Oh yeah, her and Charlize.
There was a movie about amphetamines, I think, that had her in it too.
Oh,
Black Snake Moan?
no.
No.
But she was
Yeah,
awesome
she
in
was
that,
in
too.
Wait, is the Peanut Gallery trying to make a comment?
Prozac Nation.
Prozac
Fuck!
Nation. Thank you. And that was a good movie.
I never saw that.
Wait, was she wasn't in Spawn. Have you guys ever seen
She
Spawn?
wasn't in Spawn.
No.
I love Spawn.
I haven't
She wasn't
seen
in
it.
Spawn, no.
I knew it was like something like that had the one word, like...
Prozac Nation is 2 words.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking.
Unless you bleed them together. Then.
Yeah, Prozac Nation.
President.
Cash for bones! Cash bones!
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I'm gonna
Jesus.
try and pull us back into the episode here.
Those are just random commercials in the beginning of every episode, right?
Not
No,
every
not
episode.
normally. That
They-
was just random.
Occasionally, it's like Cash Bone or Thompson's Teeth or something.
The only teeth strong enough to eat teeth. And it's just like that grinding noise. And you're like, why would you want to hear that? I don't want to hear that.
So this podcast is brought to you by Cash Bone. Too many bones, not enough cash? Call Cash Bone.
Give a synopsis for the episode, James. You do your
improv
ad lib.
this. Yeah.
Okay, so Amy,
He used to write these down in advance. We gave up on that.
No, it's all
It's,
stuff.
I think it's way more entertaining if we just make it up on the spot.
Oh, that's
So, Amy, after 12 arduous years as the professor's grad student, is finally ready to give her dissertation. But after her doctorate is denied by the esteemed Morris Katz, mysterious cats begin appearing around the Planet Express building. Eventually, Amy and Nibbler become suspicious of the catitude of the Planet Express crew.
Oh my god.
Very nice. Very nice. I like it.
And they begin to uncover a plot revolving around the ancient pyramids of Giza and the rotation of the Earth.
All right. Well,
All right, what do we have so far?
Perfect.
that makes sense. All of that makes
Yeah.
perfect sense.
What it was about.
Yeah. Well, the whole episode starts out where they're at the Planet Express building. Amy is like getting ready for her doctoral exam the next day. And the professor kind of tells her, well, he tells all of them to kind of like, just go off. You got to relax before.
Let loose.
Yeah.
Take your jalopy for a joyride. Wear a t-shirt. I'm like, what?
And eat a fish stick.
Yeah.
Which, that's what you do after you get drunk. That's like on your way back from the bar, you stop at like the food truck on the corner, and you're just like, yeah. I've had just enough gin to roll the dice on that burrito.
What, shawarma from a van? That sounds spectacular.
It's already ready?
Excuse me, how much is your falafel? You'll pay me. Oh. But this is the first note that I have is actually when they're at the hip joint. They're the hovering space bar that they go to.
Side note, reoccurring bar.
Yeah, we see it before, like way early on when.
Is that where Zap sings Leela?
No.
No? Okay.
That is the place where. What Amy and Bender are trying to hook Leela up with someone. It's a real early episode.
Okay.
No, it's Love Labor's Lost in Space, because that's where she first hooks up with Zap Brannigan.
Because of the club?
Well, not because of the club, because
That's
she can't
just part of
find anyone at the club.
Okay.
But we see it again in this episode, and the note that I have, what I wrote down, how many times have I told myself just one drink?
Actually, oh no, I just need a drink to calm my nerves.
Yeah.
Maybe I need another drink.
Yeah.
Or another one.
It's like if I'm walking back downtown to just like pick my car up in the morning because I was like too drunk to drive the night before, And then I figured, it's like, while I'm down here,
There, might as well.
you stop in, I should say hi to everyone. And then it's 7 hours later.
Well, like one
The
drink.
car stays where it was.
Yeah.
One drink tastes and feels so good, so 20. I mean, imagine how good that's
It's
gonna
gotta be
feel.
better. It's gotta be better.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So we've all been part of this.
Oh,
yeah,
sure.
Excellent.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you're serenading Billy Joel into a fire hydrant.
Well, Harrisburg hasn't painted, so I can see why you gotta take the woods though.
They're
They
blue.
are
They
handsome.
look really nice.
Yeah.
Well, no, they didn't have the artists go around and paint them all up.
Oh, yeah.
For what was it, Campona or the arts festival that we
Something.
had? Yeah.
Yeah. No offense to the artists, but I was not impressed by any of them.
No.
I guess it's a lot of offense to the
I
artists.
think I was
You know
gonna
These
say.
what?
fire hydrants are hack.
They were.
They were children that painted
No,
that.
they were
Just
not.
be aware.
Oh, I take it
yeah,
all back.
Yeah, see,
Oh, were
you
they?
just shit
Don't
on a
take it
bunch
back.
of little kids.
Don't take it back.
Tell them they suck.
You should ask an art class. That's
Yeah,
exactly.
maybe somebody should go to CASA.
Go to law school, goober.
Overall, I don't know. I didn't really. I haven't seen all of Futurama episodes. Definitely not in order. But this one was not in my top 10.
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of lacking. I was surprised. There were a few one-liners I enjoyed. The cats get to your post and they all jumped on the scratching post.
Yeah,
was
that
really
was
funny.
funny.
There are a few things there going on. No, even
Well,
mid-show, Suds was like, "This is the most idiotic." Or he said, "This is a dumb."
I was like, yeah, this is a kind of a dumb episode. Yeah. That's why I'm glad we spent like 40 minutes on the top of the podcast just talking about other random shit.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we're wasting one of the great guests. of
Well,
the show.
I mean, also just for the three of us specifically, this is coming off of, we just reviewed 2 of the highest rated episodes of this season,
That's
and
true.
then we're going into this one.
Now, when it says highest rated, is that in your book as well? Some of the best, or just
Yeah.
Okay.
Both.
I want to say it has to be
Yeah.
more. I want to say it's probably more us than anything else. I gotta pull the paper out here.
You gotta check the stats there.
that's-
I rated the last episode 5.5 out of 5.
Oh my, okay.
So-
And what was that one called?
The late Philip J. Fry. It's the one where they watch the universe end multiple times. Fry misses a date with Leela, and they have a future time machine, but they can't go in reverse.
Here's my
Don't know if
question
I've seen
for
it.
you,
It's the
though.
fucking best. It's the best episode of all time.
You guys
Alright,
are
we got a night
all.
plan.
You're all pet owners. You have cats, right?
Cats and dogs.
Okay, so
Cat and
you have
dogs.
both.
Yes.
Cats and dogs.
And one human.
And one human. that's
Oh,
right.
and a
Yes.
child.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the little one.
He's there too.
That's gonna come back.
They all have their own room, so it gets confusing. I don't know.
No, I vaguely remember the dog. Maybe I saw
murder
seen
face,
the
the pit bull?
yeah
Okay,
yeah
that
oh yeah
makes
no
sense.
because I remember seeing him and be like, oh my god, you're adorable.
There's the cat. I think the cat came in the room and
Was
was
just
hanging
like-
out.
Nah.
He's my favorite. But yeah, and we got the Chihuahua and the Jack Russell Terrier.
Oh, the Chihuahua I remember too.
Yeah, Nucky Thompson, but he has cancer now.
Oh,
I know. They gave him
that's
6
sad.
months to live 6 months ago, and he's
Oh.
killing it.
nice.
I know.
Good.
Yeah,
Like,
he was
fuck
like,
that shit. I'm staying.
we found out, like, I was tearing up, and I was like, oh my god, like, how many? They're like, you have, savor every moment. It could go any day. I was like, what the fuck?
Jesus.
And then we got him on CBD oil. And I'm skeptic of all kinds of holistic shit, so I'm like, yeah, whatever, I'm willing to try anything if it makes him feel better. So we give him that stuff. New dog, completely. In 2 weeks, we had to get him drained.
That's
of this-
amazing.
Yeah, we had to get him drained of this fluid every 5 days. He was
like
filling
a
up
pouch type thing.
his whole belly. It was all
Yeah.
around his
Oh,
organs, and he just
jeez.
looked like this water balloon. And he just
The oil helps with that?
yeah. I mean, I didn't even
Holy
understand
shit,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
What
That's
is
crazy.
the oil? You said
CBD oil. It's like the tea. It's like weed
Oh,
oil.
the TS. Yeah,
But it
yeah.
has no THC in it, so it's
Okay.
legal to purchase. They sell it at my wife's
Well, yeah,
shop.
that's part of the whole thing that he legalized in this area.
Yeah.
The oils and the non-smokable stuff.
Yeah, there's no way. Like, it's not fucking him up at all.
Yeah.
It's just something we put in his food, and I honestly thought it would do nothing. And like I said, he was going in every 5 days to get drained of this fluid, and we went 2 weeks before we had to get him drained off the first time we started using it. And he's literally like he's building muscle mass back up. Like
That's fucking awesome.
I don't like to get too excited because he still could go any day.
Yeah, but
I mean,
hey,
look at his demeanor's changed. He looks like he's living life again, so that's good.
As long as he's happy, he's doing his thing, and
Super
this
stoked.
is helping out, you're like, Good shit.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
I highly recommend, the CBD oil and
we promote a lot of things on this.
Oh yeah, okay, good.
Yes, you go ahead and promote that.
You know what else your dog would probably like? Heroin.
You guys
No.
promote that, huh? Oh no, okay.
No, we don't. There's already an issue in this country with that shit.
We also have him on painkillers. I'm not gonna lie, we do.
That might be helping as well.
Yeah, so he's well on his way.
Big ups for opioids.
Yeah. As soon as they cut his little doggy insurance, straight to the needle.
Oh boy.
So just more opioids.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I feel sad.
No, he's doing great. Feel happy about that.
You know it'll cheer you up.
Futurama.
How cute Nibbler is.
And his
this
little
is
sailor uniform.
Yeah.
Man.
kind
His
of
naval
the.
outfit.
I keep telling you that's my real naval uniform.
This is actually kind of the catalyst of the whole episode.
Well, I wrote down, and this is such a quick little sight gag. It's kind of stupid, but I wrote down Nibbler's courage drink.
What the? Where did you see that?
It's when, like, everyone else is like paired. They're at the hip joint. Everyone else is kind of paired off with their partner, but it's just Leela and Nibbler are alone at the table, and she's kind of being like very like.
Snoochy Boochies about it.
Yeah, very helicopter parents about things.
I like her on Instagram. That's the only reason I remember that name.
But yeah, she's being getting very like cutesy, like you would with a pet.
Yeah.
And Nibbler, who is proven to be an essentially immortal, all-knowing being, it's just like, all right, enough of this shit. And it's just
No, he says the words that no one likes to hear. We need to talk.
But before he does that, you see it's like a one shot of Nibbler, and he just pounds the rest of his like martini and just goes, "We need to talk." In that same way of just like, if you ever have to like get through like saying something difficult to someone, where you're just like pound a shot and just like, we can do this now.
I do really like the glasses that they have apparently at the hip joint.
Self-filling.
Yes.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, like imagine if we had that for the podcast. It'd be
We
amazing.
would be dead within 40 minutes.
Yeah.
This wouldn't even they would hear us die on the pod. Actually, it would record several hours after the podcast.
Yes, this
ended.
podcast would be released posthumously.
They have those like that you put the cup down. It looks like bar mat, but you put it down on
And it
that
fills
and it fills
from
from
the
the
bottom?
bottom.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I've seen a video
You
of
can
that.
order like a Cosmopolitan and put it down and it just shoots right up the shit there.
I wish you didn't have to pay for all of that.
No.
That would be my only issue. I'd just be like,
I'm sure it's not a cheap endeavor, but that is an interesting technological advance there. We're well on our way to martini glass filling themselves.
well, and that was the thing too with the martini glass. In original episodes, it just didn't fill by itself. Like a tiny cloud appeared over the glass.
Oh
and
yeah,
would
yeah,
rain
yeah.
In the
into
same bar.
it. Yeah, yeah.
What?
So
That's
they
cool.
streamlined it, I guess.
Yeah.
They're like, well, why wouldn't it? Maybe it'll just appear. Like, why do we need the clouds and everything? But no, that would be awesome, and I would be a terrible alcoholic at that.
I think everyone would be.
Would be?
Yeah.
Would be, David?
You see what we're doing right now, right?
What time is it in the day? 3, 4, 5?
This is day drinking. This is okay. It's once a week. We're
Oh,
fine.
yeah, it's day
You're
drinking.
doing something, so you're being productive. That's how I look at it.
Check out our merch page on TeePublic. You can
Need to
continue to
pay.
enable us.
Need to pay for this drinking problem. Get on that shit.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting one. I'm going on there.
Hell
I
yeah.
want to be a sponsor
Yes.
of this show.
Excellent.
Oh,
That
nice.
$4 to jump to $6 real quick. So.
Woo!
Do it soon. James has to write that shit off on his taxes.
Oh, okay.
I don't. The IRS, is this $8 important? I don't. That's not worth the time it would take to file the paperwork. Fuck you.
Yeah, you'll be down to when you're audited.
Hopefully you've saved all your receipts for the past 7
Yeah.
years.
Pizza
Yeah.
box.
They're online somewhere. I'll just email Elon, just be like, hey man, I need some help here.
By the way, I got one of those flamethrowers.
Wait,
What?
Really?
I did. I was an impulse purchase. I couldn't help it.
Hang on, what the fuck's this shit?
You don't know about it?
No.
All right. So Elon Musk said that if the Boring Company is the Hyperloop, making the Hyperloop.
Yeah.
And the Boring Company was struggling a bit, so he said, I need to sell 1 million hats. If everybody buys a hat, I will sell a flamethrower. And a limited amount of them. So I didn't get a hat. I honestly didn't even know about that. I only saw the flamethrower option and was like, fuck yeah, I don't care what it costs, I'll buy that. So I went and I ordered, and there's only 20,000 of them, and they sold out within a day or two. So $500 flamethrower.
So you bought a Tesla flamethrower.
It says the Boring Company on the side, and it's essentially just a roofing, like one of those that you just kind of heat up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did that, but I'm really excited
It's
about it.
essentially a welder's tool.
Yeah, 100%. But it looks like a gun, and it says the Boring Company on it. And I think because Elon Musk is going to take over the world, that these little things are going to appreciate in value over time. So that's essentially why I bought it.
I gotta say, if we gotta trade one dictator for another, I'd take Elon Musk over
He
45 any
seems like a
day.
great man. I mean, yeah, he's done so much. That latest rocket that went up is like the strongest.
Falcon Heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's going to Mars, and then he
Yeah.
re-landed the boosters. So
Yeah,
they're
I
reusable.
saw that. Yeah.
It seems like more people are watching those now, and it's pretty incredible technology. I'm very excited for him. So
Yeah,
if I can support with a flamethrower purchase, I'll do it.
definitely.
I like that he just launched his car at Mars.
Yeah,
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. That is just the biggest fuck you to the galaxy. You know what? Let's just put an inoperable car in fucking space.
Yeah.
Are they gonna have a solar powered wave to charge it up so it can drive around?
Who the hell knows? There's not even a pilot.
That's true. We'll get there eventually.
I don't know.
What?
I bought a flamethrower.
That's
Oh,
kind of-
you bought not a flamethrower is what it's
That's-
actually called now.
That's kind of the odd bit with like dictators, I guess. It's just like, or not even dictators, just politics in general. If you really are picking the lesser of two evils, whether or not you want to say who's more evil, Clinton or Trump, it's Trump.
Yeah.
But if you are picking the lesser two evils, I'll take the fucking guy who launches cars into space and wants to build trains for everyone over the guy who is still baffled by wall technology.
I think it's gonna go that way. I think Elon Musk is gonna have more pull in the way things run in the long run. I do. He's just too far ahead. He understands Bitcoin. He gets the fucking space travel.
Yeah.
Cryptocurrency, I haven't grasped the concept of it.
It's hard to invest now, but it wasn't 2 months ago. Luckily, when I did.
Well, it wasn't like 6 years ago when,
I know.
you know.
Well, no, it was super hard 6 years ago, but that was the time to do it to make your millions.
Yeah, it was probably when you should have. But see, that's the thing, though. From what I can tell, it jumps around so much. Like, so you're rich for a month, and then you're bankrupt, like, in another month.
Yeah. Well, those like, for instance, because I'm in it, the original was, when it came out, it was 0.0079 cents. So random techie, weird, geek dudes, which I love them. I don't know why I call them weird, but they were buying up tons of Bitcoin.
No, that's accurate.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
Weird's not a derogatory comment as far as I'm concerned. That's like, oh, weird.
I
That's
felt like
good.
I was putting it down when honestly I'm envious of it.
I already knew that.
Damn it!
So, they bought $100 worth, and when Bitcoin became worth $20,000 a coin, they were billionaires, and they didn't even realize it. Some of them looked back and were like, what the fuck? I bought that a while ago. What's that worth? Holy shit. And now then they just cashed out their shit.
Yeah.
Now myself, I saw the rise in it, tried to understand the technology. It is incredible, but super boring to talk about. So I invested, we're about under $1,000, but we have some money in it. Around 11,000 is when we did it. When it went up to 20,000, we made $400, $500, didn't pull it out, and now it's back down to 8,000.
Yeah.
But you watch the trend, and it's constantly growing, and it's a technology that makes way more sense than a centralized government's banking system.
Yeah.
So I foresee it taking over in the long run. I'm just throwing money in every paycheck just because I figure, and it's the throwaway money from the paycheck, something we would have went out to dinner with, 25 each.
Kind of a stock market type.
A 401k situation.
Yeah,
we don't care if we lose. If it goes to zero, fuck it. I would hate to lose that money. I don't want to.
Yeah.
But if it happens, it happens. It was a throwaway money anyway. But I have high hopes that it's going to take over years and years down the line and at least grow to 60, 70,000 and we can make some money.
The way the world's going or where it's looking at it, that's probably where it's going to end up. They just need to maybe figure out what's like specifically what it's heading towards. I
Yeah.
guess. Like,
Well, it looks like Wells Fargo is the first one to do it with a company called Zelle, and they're doing like it's all based off a blockchain system, that's the very boring part, but it makes it so it's unhackable. And Wells Fargo has done this now within its own community.
Okay.
So if you had Wells Fargo and I had Wells Fargo, I could send you money for a commodity using
I see.
Zelle.
Yeah.
They're building their own like internal to try and catch up to what Bitcoin already has. So as long as it doesn't get shut out with regulations, it should take over in the long run.
Oh well. I hate to say this.
Yeah.
But, like, you know,
I know.
What fucking world we live in? Someone's being like, I don't like that. You're done.
Yeah, I know. It's true. So, and it's happening. India got banned. China got banned. So it's a gamble overall.
I've given up on trying to predict what's going to happen.
Yeah. But I like to just, put, if I knew about it, what Bitcoin when it was 0.0079 cents, but I didn't understand it at all. So I thought I just brushed it off. I'm not brushing it off right now. I'm investing in it and saying, forget about it. Worst case scenario, I lose that money. Best case scenario, I don't have to work anymore.
Wouldn't that be very good?
Yeah, so,
I'm good, motherfuckers. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Biden Island podcast for the rest of our days.
Shady Voices Island. I'll name it that. You guys can follow me there.
Yeah. We built a castle in the Galapagos.
Yeah, totally fine with it.
Oh, we gotta be okay with that. We are so fucking off topic.
I don't know how or why we went down this road.
I'm a tangent motherfucker.
I am okay with this. Let's.
You guys want to take a quick break?
Where are we at, James?
You do that? You take breaks in the middle?
Sometimes.
Yeah, we're like 6 minutes into the episode.
Commercial.
Fuck off. For real?
All right,
Play it so I
we're
can
going to take
hear
a
it.
quick smoke break. We'll be back to actually talk about Futurama.
I'm going to talk about the commercial more than anything.
And go.
Hi, this is the crew from the Planet Express Delivery Podcast.
Hello.
We are just, this is a commercial break. This is a commercial break.
This is a commercial break.
But we'd like to inform you, if you'd like to support the show, we do have several ways that you can do that. The one in particular that we are going to tell you about today, I'm going to pass this off to James right now because he has all the information, but he will tell you right now.
Yeah, I'm the one who owns a computer.
Exactly.
Okay. So
The instructions, the notes that you have there look very simple, though. It just says, send vodka.
it says send vodka.
Yeah, to support us.
Yes, just support us. Please send vodka to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We'll find it. Don't worry.
Sure.
We always do.
But if you want a more direct way to support the show, we do have a merch store through the site TeePublic, who we're affiliated with. If you would like, go to our website, planetexpresspod.podbean.com. Click on the link in the episode description, and that'll take you directly to our merch page. Once you're there, we have dozens of designs for you to choose from. You pick the design you want, pick out t-shirt, hoodie, mug, laptop case, stickers, other things that I'm probably forgetting right
Jeez,
now.
No, that's a lot. I didn't realize we had that much even.
Oh, no.
But that's awesome. Now I'm going to go and check it out. Because
I'm going to
do
go buy
want-
some as well.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I will as well.
I think this sounds fantastic.
Okay, guys, you pushed that a little too far. I was trying to make it fun for everyone. Now it's not.
This is the funnest thing I've ever heard.
Actually,
Now,
forget this plug. We're going to buy our own merch
We're
right
buying merch. Also, though, that is not the only way you can support us. As always, we do want to hear from you on our Facebook page and on all the places you can listen to our show, Podbean being our flagship.
You could maybe rate us on iTunes,
Oh, yeah.
which would be nice of you to
Yes, we love hearing from, and we do have email addresses, which we'll give at the end of the show.
But any support that you guys can throw at the show is much appreciated. We are a completely DIY endeavor, and we did not expect the show to be even as big as it is, whatever modicum of success we've been able to achieve.
Yeah, I don't think we
throughout
can
this.
measure it at any, not at this point.
But if you want, please do leave us a review in the iTunes store and check out our merch page on TeePublic. Again, go to planetexpresspod.podbean.com to click the link that will lead you there. And everything goes right back into supporting the show. We do not get paid for this.
No, we do not.
We lose money every episode that we do.
Technically, we'd all be bankrupt right now.
We're not, you're not already?
No, I have not filed.
I am fully in the red.
Well, that explains why our studio looks like shit.
Hey, fuck you.
I've changed my identity 6 times since we started the show.
All right, so yes, if you need any more information, there is an email address we'll give at the end of the show, and please send us money.
Just loose money.
Loose change. We love it.
Sacagawea dollars.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a lot to cover here. we seriously have a lot to cover.
Yeah, we're what, 3 minutes into the episode? That's really good.
Well, but let's jump ahead a little. Let's quick cover what has happened in all the things that we haven't been talking about.
Well, what I wanted to bring up, because I have a few notes about this, but one of the things that was so evident to me, and especially just knowing the collegiate career of so many of the Futurama writers, is just like how based in academia this entire fucking episode is.
I was thinking that while we watched it.
That so many of them have doctorates or are actual college professors. And the line that I quoted, because I'm sure that either they experienced this or they've heard it sometimes, is when Amy is giving her her dissertation and begins with, "Imagine, if you will." Oh God! How many times have the same heads of their respective universities' physics departments heard "imagine"? Oh fuck again! That was one that just struck me as a very clearly something that Ken Keeler or J. Stewart Burns threw in, just fuck.
Yeah.
I didn't know they all had doctorates and were professors. So.
Oh, yeah. No, Ken
A lot of
Keeler's
them,
a
yeah.
professor of applied mathematics. I think J. Stewart Burns has, a theoretical physics degree or something.
Well, who's the one that actually had a paper published that they...
That was
called
Keeler.
The Futurama theorem.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Yeah, they wrote a theoretical mathematics theorem for an episode of Futurama that actually had it published in a mathematics
science journal,
yeah,
peer-reviewed
yeah.
situation.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god. It doesn't surprise me. This show's very intelligent.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
No, they're all super smart.
For the most part, the show is very intelligent. But this episode, like Suds said, this is kind of a dumb episode. But I don't know why you guys didn't love it more, since you're all pet owners, and there were a lot of dumb pet jokes.
Well, I liked all of those.
Yeah.
But I was thinking the whole time, this is such a goofy episode. But like James was saying, we've got theoretical physicists writing these jokes. It's kind of fucking silly.
Yeah. I think there was a very little Bender throughout the entire episode.
Yeah.
None of the characters actually spoke. I noticed that towards the end. Spoke all that much
They were kind of
until
possessed the majority of the time.
Yeah, hypnoptized or something.
Hypnotized, yeah.
Fry had a funny line kind of in the beginning. I can't remember what it was.
What?
But...
No,
So it was really great that you brought that up.
Yeah, thanks,
That's my bad.
One of those lines was pretty good.
Well, mid-episode they all are, and I don't know if this is a reference to. If I feel like it's a reference to one of those alien takeover movies, like The Body Snatchers or something, where they're all sitting away, and Amy and Nibbler come in, and they're like, "The cat is evil," and everyone's like, "What are you talking about?" And they all turn around. They all have cats that look like themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just turns into pet the cat.
Yeah.
What it reminded me, it did remind me of one of the bodies. The first one I come to is you ever seen the one where they all have it's like a giant leech on their back that punctures their fucking neck.
Oh, that's the series Falling Skies, isn't it?
No, well, there was a movie
Okay.
where in 1990s this saucer. It is. It's basically Planet of the Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but it 90s style. Like they make it very like, oh, we're gonna make this grotesque. And like, all right, so this thing like latches onto you and then sticks a needle into your neck and has control, and like that's what because that one scene where they're all coming after Amy and Nibbler is just that is what it is. Like you see that, it's like pet the cat, pet it.
All right, so that does sound very much like Falling Skies, which I never watched the last season of.
You understand?
Okay, I loved that show. Though.
Yeah, I think
It's not worth it.
It's not worth the
Don't do
finish.
it.
But that also sounds very much like a movie that I've actually been searching for the title for many years, and I can't figure it out. But I saw a movie when I was growing up in the 80s where there's like a school bus of children, and there's like the bus driver or mom or something, she's taken over by an alien.
Or lunch lady or whoever.
It might have been the lunch lady, actually. But she gets like an implant at the base of her spine, at her neck. And so she takes these children in this bus like to this underground like cave situation. And then all the children are like implanted. And there is like a...
Isn't that Body Snatchers?
No,
The cave?
it's not.
There's a bus in the cave at one point.
Is there? I don't think that's it.
Are you talking about Invasion from Mars? There was like a late 80s movie.
Wait, I that might be it because I think Mars is in the title.
Yeah.
But there's like a sand pit, and like if they get sucked into the sand pit, then they go underground, and there's like what's that giant grotesque monster from
Sarlacc.
Yeah, there's like a Sarlacc-like creature down
Where were
there.
you, Dave?
But that movie always scared the fuck out of me because I didn't want to get an implant in the back of my neck, and also I didn't want to get sucked into sand as a kid.
There's multiple bad scenarios in that movie.
Yeah, body gore.
Invasion
That
from
seems to
Mars.
be-
I think that might be
it.
fucking it.
The 80s convinced us that quicksand was going to be a much bigger problem than it turned out to be.
Absolutely.
The
Yeah,
80s always
yeah.
convinced me that space parasites were going to be the issue. Have you ever seen?
And when you just combine the two, I mean,
you
can't win.
No.
Space parasite. It's always something that has to go into your mouth, and like it's very painful, and then it just like takes over your brain. Have you seen The Hidden?
Sounds familiar, but I don't.
All right,
Not very
Kyle
well.
MacLachlan from Twin Peaks was in the first one.
Okay.
All right, and now we're really off topic, but I'm okay with this. I'm all right with this.
Sorry.
The first one was a mixture of 80s fucking body horror, action, and like just stupid sci-fi. And like the whole premise was that an alien lands on Earth, takes over a hooker's body and just starts like killing people and like driving cars real fast. That's not the only body it takes over. But, like,
driving cars real fast is a big part of this plot.
I'm not even that is what the synopsis says.
Aliens want to do. They go there, they get in cars, they drive fucking fast.
They drive cars fast and they kill people. That is what it was. But like at the end, all you see like is,
so aliens are just thug life.
Yeah,
They come down to Earth like, look, I'm gonna fuck a lot, I'm gonna kill some motherfuckers, I'm gonna drive my goddamn car real fast.
fucking GTA. That's what it is. But this movie, like at the end, all you see is like this alien prying itself out of like some senator's body, like through his mouth, like tentacles, like just coming out. Like, that is spectacular. Like,
I knew Mitch McConnell looked familiar.
Son of a bitch.
It's Mitch McConnell. He's ready to come out. That's for sure. That
It's gonna be right on fucking television. Everyone's gonna be like, fucking right.
Yeah, knew it.
I've been turtling for decades. It's time for me to reveal my true form. But he comes out and it's still Mitch McConnell, just a little bit scaly and just like
a little less waddle in the neck,
That's disappointing.
Yeah.
now I'm Alien McConnell. Everybody vote Republican. You got a little sing-songy with.
Well, that's not even the word. All right, later on, you've probably seen. Have you seen Slither?
Oh yes, of course.
Okay, so that is one of my favorite.
That's
Like,
great.
It is like it came out of nowhere. It is the weirdest like horror alien movie. Like just
It's perfect. He's got zombies, but yet it's alien oriented.
Yeah.
With these little slither monsters that are.
taking over. Basically, everyone dies in this whole town except for like 3 or 4 people. It's got comedy in it. It's very reminiscent of the like kind of goofy 80s like horror movies.
But it had some of the new age CGI to it, so
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
where I fall in love.
Which was good. And James Gunn, I love him. I'm glad people. He's gotten a lot more chances now to do a lot of cool shit. He even wrote the script for I think he did. Did he write the script for the new Dawn of the Dead?
I wouldn't know that.
You wouldn't know that?
No.
All right. I know Zack Snyder directed it. But I'm pretty sure James Gunn wrote the script.
Bodes well for being very action packed.
Yeah. Well, the whole running zombies thing is something that people have a problem with. But I'll tell you what.
That just doesn't seem fair.
No.
Zombies shouldn't be able to run. What even is the point then?
They're not technically zombies, I don't think.
Well, it depends what movie you're talking about. If we're talking 28 Days Later, that's a virus.
Yeah,
the rage
the
virus.
virus, correct.
Which is, look, I don't really care what your definition of zombie is. 28 Days Later is one of the best zombie movies of
It's
all time.
quintessential.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
All right. Well, what would you consider the? Oh no, they're not zombies. The Crazies. Have you seen that?
But you could put it in that same category.
Yeah,
As-
it is a virus.
Yeah, and they're angry and crazy.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well, they're just like psychotics that just fucking murder people.
I really like Crazy. I felt like it got a bad rap or just kind of went under the radar. Nobody
I
talked
thought it
about
I'm
it.
not sure if I saw that.
It's fun. It's fun.
Timothy Olyphant and
Which I loved him.
yeah, he's
That's
good.
why I love him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So now that we're done with that,
So we're still not talking about Futurama?
No, sorry.
Well, I was
Okay.
trying to think of the line that you were that Fry had that you really liked that you can remember, and
Oh.
what I think it was when Amy gets denied her doctorate and they're coming back to the Planet Express building. She's like, I don't have a fancy degree either, but now I'm a prominent boy in the package delivery industry.
That was it. Yeah, that was it. I thought that was funny.
I made a note of
I
that.
didn't call that.
Well, because I noted I love the idea of boy as a job title.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's used to being a delivery boy, so it makes sense.
There's something about that like strikes me in like a very Victorian sort of aesthetic, where it's just like, have you met the boy?
Yeah, yeah.
Some fucking like 90-year-old just like widower, just like, I hired a boy, he tends to the stables.
James aspires to be a boy.
I
Yeah?
never worked as a boy before. I'd
We
be
could,
interested to get into that.
Podcast boy? Maybe?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, a
that's-
podcast boy.
Yeah, we're a bunch of
Podcast
podcast
boy.
boys. You guys are. It works.
I'm a podcast man, thank you very
No.
much.
No.
Oh,
Well-
no?
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Shit.
It's like requirements for the
Shut down.
podcast.
Welcome to Mancast. We're like a dick slap of audio.
Okay, that has to like exist, and somebody's doing that, and they're serious about it.
welcome to Mancast. Check out my balls.
Dick slap of audio?
I win. I got mine first.
Great. That was it's pretty succulent the way you said bulge just
Oh,
there.
all right.
Well, I thought you were going to
gotta
go with balls,
tell
but I really like that it ended with a J. It was fun.
Yeah, change up.
Yeah.
Check out my balls.
Unpredictable. Unpredictable boy.
I am a boy. I know.
So prior to coming to this, I had looked up just a few like news on Futurama in case I had missed some things. And had you seen the Radio-Rama or listened to that?
Yes.
What was that about? Like what?
It was like you know how they do radio dramas in BBC or on, in London.
Yeah. On the radio.
Yeah.
In England.
England.
Like, have you heard of radio?
Oh, radio, yes.
Okay, well
that's
Okay,
the airwaves.
well, a lot
Yeah.
of people don't know what radio is anymore because we don't necessarily listen to the radio any longer.
They got
Everyone
this
knows
new
what-
thing called the Stereopticon.
the voice box. It yells at you and chatters. Just saying.
Did you guys enjoy it?
I haven't listened to it. James might have.
I did listen to it. It's okay. It hurts me a little bit to say that, but like, I feel like so much of what I really enjoy about Futurama is the animation and the art direction and the way that.
There's hidden jokes.
Well, I mean,
scenery.
you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
think about, like, for this episode specifically, were this entirely just vocalized, there were no, like, we already, I think, we kind of agree that this was sort of like a goofy episode.
Mhm.
How much different would it be if you didn't actually get to see the fucking cat-operated puppet or the
I'll get to your
you know,
post.
the-
My favorite part of the episode.
yeah, the
when you
pyramid,
had the punchline.
you know, the
Absolutely,
pyramids
yeah.
of Giza being built by cat slaves or whatever. Like,
Yeah. Human slaves.
the story
slaves.
the story is
Thank you,
still
Sean.
there. Like the writing hasn't waned at all, but I think for Futurama the media demands animation. So that
Or
was-
at least some visual aspect.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like they do Futurama comics, and like I haven't read them, but I have to imagine that that's to sort of the same extent that they're, you know.
I used to love Bartman.
Of course you did.
I used to buy Bartman comics all the time.
That was
Walking
a
down to the
comic.
corner
yeah,
store,
yeah.
we'd get Bartman and some penny candy.
Do you think you'll review the Radiorama?
We could do that.
We
Oh,
actually
yeah, that's a good
probably
point.
should, yeah.
You want to like be a host so you can come up with ideas like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah, definitely.
You host that episode of our show.
Oh yeah, you could have us on as guests.
Okay. We'll review Radiorama.
Yeah.
And then we'll never get rights back to the show. Kunkle will just own Planet Express
At that
forever.
point, I'll be like, what just happened?
Oh, like
Pretty sure
some,
we
like some
started
sort of a
this.
squatting situation. He just steals the podcast from us.
He just refuses to
Do
leave
you
your
have an extra
kitchen.
room?
And
Yeah. I just need a hoodie to roll up. I'll sleep in the corner.
It'll be fine. I'm taking control of this now. Pretty sure James and I started this. I'm not sure what the fuck just happened.
it doesn't matter anymore.
You started it. You were usurped by me when I came in and took control, and then Sean is the next one in line. He's
Right.
just take over.
Just been
Yeah.
destroyed.
We're like the royal family of doing a bad job.
It's just like a Game of Thrones situation. Everybody
Well, we're not
gets
having
murdered
sex with our
off.
siblings.
True.
Yeah, we're not doing
say
that.
anything
No.
about having sex with siblings. Where
That's
you
that's the only thing I know about Game of Thrones. I've never seen it before.
What? You like good things?
I've watched the first episode like 5 times. I couldn't get into it. Too
Off
many,
the first episode?
too
Way
many
to give it a
characters.
try.
In the very beginning,
my
in the
God.
very beginning, I was like, "Oh, who are these creepy people in the snow in the woods? This seems really cool." And then you got a bunch of British people in the castle, and there's like 100 characters. And
Why?
guess
Why
what?
wouldn't you try a different episode instead
Guess
of
what?
watching the same one 5
Maybe
times?
The second one. to
Guess
see some
what?
furthering.
There's some
I
cute.
don't know.
There's some cute little wolves that apparently are important, but they're,
No.
they're only cute for so long.
So
But
important.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
there's like 25 or 30 characters in the first episode. I couldn't follow along.
His attention span is very little.
I guess so. Futurama has a mobile game called Game of Drones.
Yeah.
Oh.
Does that make you want to watch it more? The Futurama likes it.
No, I tried to play that game like the first level 20 times and I just couldn't get into it.
Like that first episode.
Yeah. I was lying. I have never played it.
Well, maybe you should try Game of Thrones again.
Yeah.
Dude, I already tried 5 times. I'm done.
It's too many times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
put too much into this.
No, unbelievable. But back to this episode. I was wondering because they do the meow 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 song.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Did they
Meow, meow,
buy the
meow.
rights to that? How do they get to throw that out there?
I don't know if that's necessarily.
Wasn't that the call to their planet to bring
Yeah,
the ship? The meow meow
Meow,
meow mix?
meow, meow.
That was the meow mix song. Meow 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 meow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they also go.
Well, maybe it's under parody or something. I don't
say, what the hell
Maybe
was
they
the Egypt thing?
Downtuned the last meow.
Maybe that's
True.
it.
Oh, yeah, true, yeah.
It's like
gotta do.
not singing Happy Birthday on your show. Like, we're singing Happy Birthday, but we're not.
But you know, Happy Birthday is in is what's
Oh,
called
it's,
public.
public domain.
Yeah, Happy Birthday got freed.
Which is the weirdest fucking. Why would you even give a shit if Happy Birthday is? I'm singing it anyways. Fuck you.
Money.
But now,
that's
wait a
why.
second.
Everybody finds a way.
You would care a lot if you were the descendants of the two assholes who wrote it 100 years ago, and you were just raking in the dough every time it got licensed.
So did they actually sing the other parts that people add in, like "And you smell like one too"?
Oh yeah, that's part of the official
that is
birthday
part of the
song.
birthday song?
You idiot.
Seriously?
No,
Two, Victorian fucking assholes. Like, you know what would be great? Let's just add this little part in here. So that's how we can.
Well, actually, who knows? Those Victorian people probably had their equivalent of that.
Like laughing to themselves. Oh, you smell like one too. Now.
Yeah.
That's terrible. It's better than the birthday song they actually sing on Futurama. That's tone.
Oh, wait, what is it?
Happy birthday. No, fucking.
You can't not sing the normal song.
No, Elzar sings it.
What day is
what
today?
day?
It's
Leela's birthday.
What a day for a birthday.
Let's all have some cake.
Bam!
Oh, gosh.
That would have been really great the last episode when that actually fucking happened.
Oh, yeah.
This is good. I like it. Let's keep it going.
Sorry. What other notes do you have? Let's go on.
See
The meow
Oh.
comment was on on topic. I did well.
Oh. I like using the idea or using the phrase "no cat" as an insult.
No cat?
It was when Amy and Nibbler are like investigating what's been going on with all these darn cats, and yeah, I apologize.
Nice reference to the episode title.
But they're bringing all of these nefarious implements into the Planet Express sub-basement, and Amy and Nibbler try to get in, and Bender just goes, "Where do you think you're going, no cat?"
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Points to the sign. Employees with no cats.
Employee
and
must has cats.
The professor had a pretty funny line right there, too. He's like, there's nothing nefarious. There's no nefarious building of any machines going on down here. Goodbye. Like, this nefarious machine is not going to build itself.
But I just wrote that I love the idea of using no cat as an insult to like people who don't, because like Suds and I
Trying to
like
conjure
both
up
have
a
cats
way that
where
you
you're
could
like,
use that.
You have to know the person to know they have no cat,
yeah.
and then
So
you can put them down for it.
But maybe it would actually.
That's what they could use against me.
Shut up, no cat.
Cat? Oh, what a no
I
cat.
don't have any animals.
Oh, that's still just a no cat. But no.
Not even like a bird or hermit crab.
My mom has a bird.
Okay.
You also have a mom.
That's
There
not
you
a
go.
pet. She takes care of me.
And we're all so fucking glad because otherwise.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you need
Such
to get a
an
pet.
adult.
Just start with a fish or something.
Nah.
Very easy.
Look, I can barely take care of myself.
It's true.
I don't want to murder anything by just like, yeah, I don't care about you. Well, I'm going to have to get drunk tonight.
It's not murder. It's manslaughter by neglect.
Still killing of a thing. I don't want any part of that. Look, if anybody's going to die, it will be me. And at that time, I'll be like, saw this coming. Cheers. Fuck it.
Can't argue against that.
Yeah, exactly. You know I'm right.
But so now that Amy and Nibbler are kind of hot on the trail of this whole thing.
This is something that I think that this is I hate to say this, but this is sort of a detriment to the episode because Amy and Nibbler, I just don't know that they can carry an episode as the main characters. I think that's part of the issue with this episode. because we like you said, like
Nibbler to be
we
intriguing, but Amy is.
oh certainly, yeah, but like you said, like we barely hear any of the other people talking
No.
because they're all like under some trance or whatever. But so I mean, the beginning was funny with Amy with her getting her doctorate, but then it's just Amy and Nibbler. I don't know. It sort of like falls short for me, I guess.
Yeah, it feels like the Katz personalities were supposed to take over the humor side, and I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like
I like the Katz, but yeah, maybe not as much as they were anticipating that we would.
Yeah.
it may just be, and I don't know if this is. I know this is sort of like a paper tiger argument. I don't know if this is fucked or not, but it may just be that it's not as impactful of an interaction as we've seen, because like when we talked about like Lethal Inspection, that was Hermes and Bender, who are characters that we rarely see interact for any extended period of time, but we all really liked that episode.
Yeah.
And it might have just been that like that was a very emotionally weighted episode, and that we don't get the same gravity
I see
in
what
this
you're saying.
in that Darn Katz, because I'll go the opposite direction. I do actually really like the way that Amy and Nibbler sort of play off of each other in a sort of like vaudevillian duo kind of way, where it's Nibbler is the straight man and Amy is the sort of wackadoo, zany personality.
But isn't that also kind of fucked up in a way? Because Nibbler, who is, oft portrayed as just like Leela's pet, but he is like more intelligent and more aware of the going-ons than just like the actual female counterpart of the episode. Like Amy is portrayed as like
No, because there's a point where they're sitting on the couch.
Okay.
And they're, the cat is the center of everyone's attention.
Yeah.
And it's Amy and Nibbler talking and being like, nah, this cat's fucking hate this cat. And Nibbler does make a comment about anything that is acting that cute is out to get something.
Yeah.
But Amy is also aware that cat is bad news. Like, if they're on the same...
But then doesn't Nibbler also just like use his cuteness to get his diaper changed?
Yeah.
That goes with the vaudevillian thing, he turns from the straight man into
Sure.
Like, so it goes into that, and you're like, what the fuck?
Like Glavin, the diaper needs changing now.
I took a poopy in the diaper.
Who's the main character of this episode?
Amy.
Amy? Okay.
Yeah.
I would think so.
Okay.
It's an Amy heavy episode.
Yeah.
And this is like one of the only, as far as I know, we don't get too many.
She got married in one of
Yeah,
we get her and Kif a lot.
her and Kif, but what he's talking about.
Go
the
ahead.
Bender Amy episode, in Proposition Infinity, where
I just remember an episode she was heavy and she was getting married. And
it was her robosexual episode.
Well, no, wait. She becomes a Fanfanru.
That too. It's always Amy getting married or coupling up. Wow, I'm
isn't
surprised
that
we
fucked up?
just noticed that. Holy shit!
What do you mean just noticed that?
No, okay, that is what I just noticed.
Look, just because
I'm there with you. I'm right there with you.
Yeah,
just because you're a
just say it.
woman-hating sexist doesn't mean you can lump James and I in there with you.
Yeah.
All right.
What? I joined the wrong team originally there a moment ago.
You just realized you accused our guest of that as well. Correct?
No, he's right there with you.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
You guys be over there. We're woke, okay?
Oh yeah, hashtag woke.
Confused.
Yeah.
We're the misogynists?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, we're good. I just wanted to make sure I was on the right team.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Spirit race.
But there were actually some funny Kif moments this episode, like because he was sort of briefly in the background from time to
His
time.
dance moves were
Hilarious, where he like
Yeah.
shrunk down like a little blob and then popped back up. But then also, what does she say after their night out, like when they were all drunk, and she's like,
Your place or mine.
Oh yeah, that was funny. He's like, oh, both,
Yeah.
but first, right here. But no, then later when they wake up the next morning, she's like, Kif, did you yak all over the floor? And then just like that green blob on the floor has a mouth all of a sudden. Yes, I'm sorry.
Well, we do get a few robots in there too. My favorite robots.
Oh, well, somebody made a comment when we were watching the episode about Hedonism Bot.
Yeah.
Because the last episode we watched, there was an explosion.
And there were bosses everywhere.
And then the explosion happened. Yeah, so Hedonism Bot just was like in a mass orgy last episode. There was an explosion. Somehow everyone died except for Hedonism Bot. And then this very next episode, he's just right back there partying again.
We don't need the logistics of it. We just need to know it happened. That's basically
He makes a pretty fantastic turnaround from his bachelor party disaster to just straight fucking in the middle of the dance floor.
Yeah, and I hadn't seen the previous episode, and he looked completely unscathed. He was ready and raring to go.
No,
in fact, asked if they could include one more.
He was feeling great,
He was.
and
looking great, really too.
I mean, how many times have you been to the club and there's just an orgy happening right in the middle?
Countless. It's too hard to remember them all.
I mean, I can't tell you how many times, but I'm usually not included.
No, oddly enough, it's kind of an outskirts thing for me as well.
Yeah.
Peeping in from the outside.
It's a little bit disappointing.
Well,
but also,
I don't like sweat a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be into it, but we'll see. Someday.
What's this one? What now?
Yeah, what are you guys talking about?
Sweaty. You guys were having some drinks. Orgies get sweaty.
I could do it.
All right.
There you go. I probably wouldn't. You know what? It would depend if I walk in and it's like.
Is it all about ratio? Is it all about ratio for you?
Yeah, I think if it looks like it's gonna be weirder than I actually imagined, which I'm assuming it's gonna be weirder than I actually imagined. But at the same time, like if it's far past what I actually imagined, I'm gonna be like, yeah, pass.
So wait, what are you looking for? Are you looking for like an eyes wide shut situation, or like
eyes wide shut,
or like
I'm
a
getting
drunk,
stabbed
or like
in the back of the neck,
or like a drunk college, or like
I'll
nobody
take
knows
the
what's
drunk
going on.
college orgy over the eyes wide shut.
But you don't want to actually initiate the orgy. You just kind of want to show up. You want to be fashionably late to the orgy.
Exactly. Want to roll in and be like, woohoo!
What type of guy starts it? I don't even know that personality type. I want to meet him.
It is the eyes wide shut guy. Like
probably.
you barely talk to, you're cool with, and he's like, "Hey man, you want some tickets? Something that I just got the other week." Like you're
I
like,
think I know this guy.
okay.
Wait, isn't there a scene in Old School, which we briefly mentioned in the beginning, where the director Todd Phillips shows up at the door and he's like, "I'm here for the orgy"?
Yeah. And when Luke Wilson's like, "What?"
Yeah.
Oh, what?
He's just there to fuck his wife.
Yeah, exactly. See, and that too. Like, okay, so when you think orgy, now that we're on the subject, do you think?
Yeah. Might as well talk about this in this Futurama episode about fucking cats.
Wait, about fucking cats?
Yeah, are
We're getting there.
Cats?
We're getting fine. All right.
Hey, an orgy's an orgy, okay?
He said it might be a little weird. Maybe it's the cat thing.
Yeah,
So that's when he shuts the door.
I just want to say, like, is it multiple female, male, or is there one female? Because I feel like that's just a gangbang.
So it is the ratio.
Yeah, I feel like there needs to be a. If you show up, honestly, if I show up and they're like, "This is an orgy," and there's one woman, I'm gonna be like, "Nah, I'm not. Nah, I'm not fucking with this."
So what's the over under?
This is a gangbang.
Where's your cutoff?
This is a fucking gangbang.
So are you just like not comfortable with your sexuality, or
Look, if there is like a mixture of male, female, it's all whatever. But if everyone's just like jerking off on one chick's face, that's okay. This is bukkake and fucking gangbang. Like, I can just go on the internet.
You don't have to act this out. This is not a visual medium.
I'm just talking here between friends.
It's true. We started this conversation.
Yeah, you're the two that did, dipshits.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
And I'm glad we did.
I am
all right,
too.
well,
I feel
Sean,
like
what
do
is
that.
your opinion?
While being married, it would come down to the wife's go ahead.
I feel like in a couple weeks or in a week when she hears this, if she hears this, we're going to hear a lot of feedback. That will never happen, and don't ever bring it up again.
Yeah, no, I'm too lazy for an orgy, I think. I have one woman, and that's a lot to deal with right there. So that's good for me. Bring in more extremities, and I'm all
into
gonna be
the
confused.
picture.
Yeah.
Not going to make it better.
No, I'm just going to be a detriment to the whole situation. So it's going to be more awkward
just
when I'm there.
just wind up in the corner, like
Yeah.
checking your Facebook.
Show up to the orgy
I'm
just like,
tired.
is this catered?
Seriously.
What's the Wi-Fi password?
There are some two Furker dogs here, or whatever.
Two Furker?
What did he thank you?
Two Furker.
Oh, what the?
Toe Furky?
Yeah, that's it.
Toe
Very
Furky?
easy to
Is that what
remember.
it is?
Not
Two
two Furker.
Furker.
Two Furker burgers.
Jesus.
Tufurker is the country south of Uzbekistan.
Wait, is that a place?
Oh, God.
Toe Furk.
Tofurkey.
That word doesn't even make
Just-
sense.
you put-
Why would you
You
even?
put tofu in between the T and the erky.
No,
Tofurkey.
no, you shouldn't have to do that. Tofu turkey.
Tofu turkey. That's too many T's. It's a tongue twister. What do you like?
Tofurkey.
Tofurkey.
All right, now I got it. Now,
Most.
all right. Well, originally when
Tofurker usually.
when I heard it
Shut
earlier,
down.
I was like, that doesn't make sense. Like, no, I don't like that. That don't work for me.
This is when you heard earlier during our outdoor conversation.
Yeah, I was like,
So you were just in your own head going, what the fuck is that?
no, I knew what it was, but I'm like, still, I don't like
For the
it.
past 2 hours, you've just been thinking, Tofurky. What?
Tofurkey.
And it slowly de-evolved. to
Yeah,
tofu.
Tofurker.
Tofurker.
That weird stuff.
Like I got Tofurker. No, jeez.
Oh, nice lady,
My
Tofurky.
Crawl.
Crawl.
Kunkle, welcome to the podcast.
Yes. Feels like home.
This is all of what we do.
James, where are we at? What's our
Well, this is where I think Amy and Nibbler, because that was alarmingly, that is what jettisoned this entire orgy tofurkey conversation was Amy and Nibbler playing off of one another. And this is actually one of the scenes that I really like between the two of them when they go to Professor Morris Katz's office at Mars University, because they're going there to get answers. They still don't really know what's happening, and yet they're very heavily armed. And
True.
I can't speak to anyone else, but my professors hated this. When you show up to their office heavily armed outside of office hours, like, that's their time.
That's true. They don't need to see that.
Yeah. So, which is the fact that the
Was
two...
it Mars University?
Yeah.
Is that like their higher education, like the highest? Because he seemed like he was the uppity Harvard grad type.
He's definitely like an old school, like, boys club Harvard guy. He's just like, I don't know, graduated.
Is that Mars
in the-
University in the Futurama universe?
I believe so.
Okay.
Well, if I remember correctly, the first time that we see Mars University is kind of a play off of, like, Good Will Hunting.
Okay.
So, I don't like Good Will Hunting, but
Oh my.
it
Wait, you don't?
it seems to be
Harvard.
that, like, Harvard
You
atmosphere.
don't like Good Will Hunting?
No.
I don't
How do
know.
you like these apples?
I don't like those apples.
I don't get it. I'm not even there.
What? That's a scene.
Is it?
Yeah. They're Macintosh. I wanted Granny Smith.
Know that.
Those
No,
are crap.
no,
Those are crappy apples.
He's lying. There's a scene where fucking Matt Damon or somebody gets some woman's number, and some other guy's pissed, and he's like, Do you like apples? Because the other fucking bro was trying to get this woman's number, Minnie Drivers, and she wouldn't give it to him. Then Matt Damon gets it, and the guy's like outside the window, and he's fucking like they're trying to fight. It's like, do you like apples? What do you mean? Do you like apples? No. Well, do you like these apples? And he puts her number up against the window or whatever.
Yeah, it's a stupid fucking scene.
Classic movie.
No.
Easy to forget.
Okay, Robin Williams was fantastic. R.I.P.
I liked the movie.
Robin Williams is fantastic in everything.
Well, true.
Trying to think of anything he wasn't, and you are correct. He was great.
Yeah.
What was the movie where he had the red on his nose? He was a doctor.
Oh.
Patch Adams.
Patch Adams.
I never saw that one.
Oh,
I
it
never
was
saw Patch
good.
Adams.
It was good.
I feel like I'm too late. I can't go back and watch it now.
Yeah, you're not gonna like it now.
You know what you should go back and watch is Animal House. It's amazing.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen it, but
No,
it's
I
great.
haven't. I heard it's really good.
Yeah, it's
really
fucking.
good take on
Oh
college
god,
life.
it's so good.
But it's important that you go into the movie taking everything completely seriously and stone-faced.
Okay, it's more of a documentary.
Yeah, it's well, it's more of a biopic. Like they take a little artistic license, but it's all very true to life.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Okay, we gotta like start fucking wrapping this episode up.
All right, well, we're at the end.
This has been one of the most off the rails episode of all
No,
time.
but it's been hilarious, and I
picture you had
love
dirt
it.
on. There's no way.
I wasn't here for dirt. I don't know.
Oh, dirt's all over the place with his stories. I would imagine.
We did, yeah, we were at the bar still for dirt.
I think
No,
I
it was just
Yeah.
recently, wasn't it?
No,
No, that was like 40 episodes ago.
Oh, what the fuck? No, I can't keep time straight.
Oh, we were all over the place with dirt.
I mean, we talked about the Quran for like 20 goddamn
Oh my
minutes.
god, that's right.
Yeah, see? That's my podcast, buddy. We are the tangents.
I feel like I was in Pittsburgh at the time for unknown reasons. Like, why would I?
No, we know the reasons.
Why would I ever go to Pittsburgh?
Unknown reasons. Unknown reasons. Yeah, that's right.
Is she flipping the bird or?
Yeah.
Dave, his grandfather died.
No, that
That was another
That was a
time.
different
Oh,
time.
I
No,
feel like an
that
asshole.
was that episode.
Wait, was it really?
Yes.
No, it was
shit.
not.
What the fuck? I remember when your grandfather died, but you don't.
Wow. Sorry.
I don't remember.
Elise, was that when his grandfather died?
I don't even know.
Okay, exactly. Don't make me feel like an asshole. I don't know what's going on.
No, I wasn't there when Jesse was on because my grandfather died.
Aha, gotcha, bitch.
No.
MF Dirt was later.
No, MF was Godfellas. Why are we arguing about
That's
this
a
right
silly
fucking
argument.
now?
Because it's another tangent. And it's fun.
Exactly.
It just makes sense.
Wrap up the fucking episode.
All right, well,
How did it end?
Well, they decided to just keep spinning that thing and turn,
Oh, yeah.
so the Earth turns backwards. And,
I love
and,
Wordstroms.
and according to the professor, that's good enough.
That's good enough. Yeah.
the
end of
planet will
episode.
turn the wrong way.
If we're to spin in the
So?
opposite direction,
Yeah.
would that matter?
Oh
does anyone
yeah,
know?
yeah, that would fucking matter.
Why?
Well, the toilets would flush the opposite direction in
Is
Australia.
that all you got?
That's it. Is that it?
That's as far as I know.
Okay,
that's as far as my as my science
doesn't
ability goes.
matter.
So I don't think it would. I really don't. For a moment, when
okay.
they said they were going to reverse it, I was like, oh, time and all shit's going to... No, that's not going to happen. It will just be different.
The sun will set in a different direction.
Yeah,
that's
that's
basically
pretty
what
Well, now
I-
it sets to the east.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
We'd have to slightly adjust weather patterns.
Yeah, mildly.
Actually, maybe the weather would be
I would
better.
say moderately adjust.
It's just spinning the other direction.
That's a big fucking change.
I feel like if our
I'll bet the
if we
poles
still
would
have
shift or something.
intelligent
Nope.
listeners right
Okay.
now, they should send us a comment or an email about what would happen if the planet rotated.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go out on a limb here. I'm gonna say we have no intelligent listeners.
Oh my! Don't
Oh.
insult our listeners,
Wow.
dude. Not cool.
Yeah.
Listen up, you dummies. Send us a fucking email.
Use big dummies.
We did get some more reviews on iTunes. That was kind of exciting.
Did we?
Yeah,
Oh,
we have
I
8
gotta
now.
check that out.
We got 8 reviews.
Oh, we got one more.
Oh, last I saw was 5.
I don't know how hard it is to get on iTunes. We're not on iTunes.
Oh,
But we'll ask
Oh.
later. We'll ask later. If
Okay.
It's, that's a
Yeah,
whole
no,
nother
okay,
fucking
we
thing.
can go into that.
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, we're at the end of the episode, so let's do Slurmies. Are you still familiar with how the Slurmy rating?
I think at least one of us should go first.
Reiterate.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
let's-
somebody always goes first before the guest.
Let
or
silly
should.
guy at the end here, Suds, go first.
Yeah, Jokey McJoke over there.
Yeah,
can go
making
first.
all
Silly
the
guy.
making all the jokes.
Okay, well. God damn, that just reminds me of watching that with my dad growing up.
Waka waka waka.
Yeah, so this episode is a weird episode, like I said while we were watching it. It's really goofy. I mean, I like goofy episodes, but this one doesn't really, like, hit that hard. I mean, I have a cat. I love cats. The pairing of Amy and Nibbler, it just doesn't really work for me. I need an episode with, like, a good, maybe a professor or like a Fry type of guy. Like, I just need a little bit more than them.
You got
everyone else running around being hypnotized and unable to
even
basically
themselves.
speak.
You got
exactly.
very
Yeah.
NPR on that character description. I need like a professor or a Fry, and I did.
Is that how the Slarmies go? I didn't.
Look, there
He's
were
not done.
no. There were some funny jokes. The fact that the Earth is now rotating in the opposite direction makes zero sense whatsoever. That would be catastrophic. I can't tell you how it would be catastrophic, but it would be catastrophic. Somebody who's smarter than us will tell us.
Catastrophic?
I know. I love that it happened. Catalog that somewhere.
I didn't. I'm not smart enough to know that I was doing that. That was not on purpose.
I thought you kept saying it because
No. I wish I had done that on purpose.
Catastrophic?
Yeah.
That was
okay.
perfect.
This episode was not perfect. I give it a 3.0
It was about meow.
Slurmies out of 5. It was okay. I mean, it was funny at times. It's not the worst.
Okay.
Okay. Bridging off of that, I'm kind of on board with this. I mean, a lot of the cat jokes, I mean, they're very true to life, but I think that's almost a failing in a sort of a way, where I think Futurama very much strives in its absurdity and its invention and coming up with these are I think the best parts of this episode were where they explored the cats' home planet and their home culture and their whole reason for their behavior and their existence on Earth. But then as soon as they get into the sort of milieu of just like, this is what it's like to be a fucking cat owner, and just like, yeah, I get it. I know how, yeah, that's what the litter box looks like. Great.
Tootsie Rolls.
So overall as an episode, I think I do like the pairing of Nibbler and Amy, but I wish they would have done it in a different context than the way that they had framed this episode. I think the way that they set it up, it sort of felt almost like we need Amy to do something, but we also only have so many pairings of characters that we can do before we just start folding in on ourselves. So it felt like maybe trial by error is the right way. We're just like, well, let's just see how fucking Amy and Nibbler work out together. But the episode as a whole, it's fine. It's not great. I still laugh at certain bits of it, but overall, I'll give it 3.5.
You can go. I'll go last.
Well, I'm not versed in the Futurama as much as I wish I was. In my later years, I haven't done much cartoons in general. I used to be Simpsons, Family Guy. I even did some American Dad. But I never really followed. It was when it was on. I kind of put it on as background while doing other projects and things like that. Futurama was one that I did watch because it would steal me away from the project because the episodes were so entertaining.
Yeah.
This episode, credits rolled, and I was... Hold on. You done? Oh. I don't know if the mics can pick it up. The cat's sneezing. I don't want to interrupt.
It's probably because I poured a big pile of catnip into that.
This guy's high as shit now.
Oh, that's good nip.
Well, to round it out, it was not one of my favorite episodes. There were fleeting moments where I found it to be kind of humorous. But I don't know how my rating would really, be worthy of anything. But I would put the 2 out of 5. I sat through it. I didn't want to turn it off, but it definitely, compared to the other episodes, I feel like I got shortchanged.
Well, I'm fucking sorry that we forced you to sit through it with us.
Hey, I do like the new process, though. Before, I had to watch it on my own and then come here, or,
Well, yeah, your text messages were pretty funny. Like, I'm not responsible. I hate watching it on my own. You were like, I'm glad I'll watch it with you guys.
Yeah. No, I got to focus on it, pay attention, be ready for the cast. So I liked being able to watch it with you guys. That's
Take
a fun
notes
aspect.
on the back of an envelope.
That I did at home.
Actually, a plus for a lot of people. We get to sit down and just watch the episode.
Yeah, I think it's a way better because you're coming in fresh with it now.
Yeah.
I like that a whole bunch more. But
well, and also for me, it used to be that I'd watch it late night on a Friday when I was just wasted, and I would know nothing when we went to record on Saturday.
The last one I had it on my phone in between phone calls at work, just pressing pause and going back. So to pay attention and get all the little behind the scenes jokes, I was lost. Yeah. But no, this was good.
Dave, you want to bring us home here?
All right, so I actually agree with Kunkle a lot. This is not particularly an episode that I enjoy thoroughly. There are jokes that are funny to me, and I feel like we had a lot of talking points throughout the actual podcast recording, but it's not something I would put on even in the background. I feel like there are other episodes of Futurama that I would put on in the background, and I don't even have to pay attention and still laugh to myself about dumb shit that's going on. James, you had mentioned the Amy and Nibbler pairing. I feel like that was a weird grab into nothing. It doesn't make sense. I feel like they could have done something else. They could have done Amy and... Well, they've done Amy and a bunch of people. They've done Amy and Fry. They've done Amy and
Amy's
Bender.
done a bunch of people.
Yes. I love Amy.
Who all has Amy done? Bender, Kiff, Fry.
I'm pretty sure she probably has done the whole Futurama cast.
Oh, okay.
Even Leela.
What do you mean, even Leela? Even Zoidberg.
No, Zoidberg never gets clacked.
Oh my god.
Not until later in other seasons.
The clacks!
But it's mildly entertaining, but not enough for me to actually give it a higher than 2.5.
Okay.
All right. Before we wrap this up, I have one more rating to give.
Oh, God.
Which is, I want to give a 5.0 Slurmies to James's vocabulary, because out of the many words that I heard him use tonight, there were a lot of good ones. I just wanted to give some highlights. One was arduous, which I really liked and I appreciated.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then I also liked milieu, which was more recent. But
that was pleasant to hear.
You used arduous very early in the podcast, and it caught my ear so nice. I loved it.
You're saying that is quite quixotic.
I love that word too.
Oh my god, I can't believe you used that.
So 5 Slurmies for James.
I back that up.
Oh. Hooray to me. If you would like to hear more of me, follow me on Twitter at Gorilla Karate, also on Instagram at Occasional Nudity. Also, if you're listening to this in February, check out therightlaunch.com if you want to read any of my poetry that is up.
Don't you have a new 16 coming out soon?
I put out a new episode of 16. If you look up 16.podbean.com, it should be on there. My guest was Brooke Pridemore, who's a very talented musician from Brooklyn, New York. Definitely check that out if you're interested in music or just love hearing about weird, interesting people.
Cool. Follow me at Mike Suds on Twitter and Instagram. And my band is playing, Florence and Libby is playing the 17th at JB Love Drafts with Twindos and Edgewood, that's right. And then again, February 24th at the Underground Bike Shop.
I will let our guest go next. You want to?
Check out the Spielberg whenever we post it. Go to Facebook. We don't do anything else other than that.
Hey, you don't have anything?
Harrisburg Pill.
You don't
No,
have...
we don't do.
Harrisburg Pill.
Well, I was talking about the Spielberg.
Oh,
though.
sorry.
Yeah.
You got lots to promote.
Well,
Come on.
as far as the podcast is concerned, we only use the Facebook through, you use Podbean through Facebook. But I want to talk to you guys after because I would like to get that onto different, outlets.
Okay.
I do the zine Harrisburg Pill, and the next issue should be coming out here, I would say mid-March. Zach Rudy is the artist, and I believe I'm interviewing James for the magazine. So
Yeah, we
we'll
talked
have
about
some Futurama in there as well. Other than that, my band, A Four Letter Word, we have some shows coming up, but I don't know the dates. May, and like you're gonna remember. So, but I really appreciate you guys having me on. It was a pleasure last time. And
Well, it's been too long actually since we've had you on.
Yeah,
this.
Yeah, it was great. Very good time.
We actually need
Yeah.
to get you guys, we need to get you and your podcast.
The whole team.
Yeah.
Get the
That
whole
would
team
actually be
together.
pretty fun. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, 3-on-3.
They're way
basically.
more entertaining than I am.
Oh,
so it would,
bullshit.
they
This was
carry
a
it.
great
This is-
fucking episode.
This is
Well, thank
one of
you.
the best episodes we've done in a long time, and especially when you
appreciated.
consider the rating that we all kind of gave the episode. Like, this is one of my favorites in a long time.
Well, the
So-
whole thing
much
is we had
appreciated.
fun. That's
Well,
all
exactly.
that matters.
Yeah.
As long as we enjoyed ourselves, we're all winners.
Yeah,
And I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Well,
So
and
thank
like
you.
I said earlier, I do hate wasting a good guest on a shitty episode, and I sort of felt like that once. Like, I didn't even know what episode we were doing until I turned on Hulu and saw it, and I was like, oh fuck! Like, Kunkle's one of the best guests that we have, and
Kunkle's
kind
one of
of
the best episodes too.
Kunkle is one of the best episodes. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Well,
very
we
much.
can talk more thoroughly about other shit after this. which
Are you
we-
cutting me off?
Yes, I
Yes,
am.
shut up. Dave, do your
I would also like to thank the Academy.
Cat, you doing more cat shit?
Again, I'm not smart enough to have made that joke
The
consciously.
Academy.
I did not know I was doing that, so I wish I had.
Alright, so, as always, you can follow me on Instagram at DeadWolfSal. I believe I'm going to start tweeting from our Shady Voices Media tweet account.
Oh my god!
Dumb
This is
shit.
Great news!
Dumb
No,
shit.
you're not.
Yeah, well, don't worry. I always have dumb things
Give
that
him
come
the access.
popped
Let this
into my
happen.
head.
Well, shit, our listeners already fucking know that.
Twoburger.
Two-burger.
Twoburger.
Sherberger. Why do we end this episode speaking in tongues?
Did it end at that point, or is it still happening?
No, it's still going.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's still recording.
No, listen to that backwards and it's going to mean something.
A lot.
Okay, we apologize for the past 30 seconds. We'll see you
apologize
guys
for
next
nothing.
We
episode.
apologize for the past 2 hours.
Off you go, apparently.